Denver's ambitious plan to solve homelessness requires landlords being willing to accept people out of homeless shelters and place them into apartments. The city now acknowledges to our Mark Salinger it is not able to track everyone who is moving through that system.
At an apartment building in Congress Park, the challenges of trying to solve homelessness collide.
It made me very angry.
Christina Eisenstein's family owns the 18-unit building. She says 6 of the apartments were occupied this fall by people who received housing vouchers from the state after moving out of city-run hotel homeless shelters.
The property management company signed up and did not tell my mother-in-law, the owner, that they were doing that.
She says complaints soon started coming in from other tenants.
When people are awoken at 1 in the morning or 3 in the morning with fighting, screaming, shouting, then that affects everyone.
Christina says the apartments were trashed. She fired the management company, hired off-duty officers to patrol, and eventually decided to pay some of the tenants on vouchers to move out. Multiple apartments just tested positive last week for meth contamination.
You cannot house them in scattered sites like this. They need comprehensive wraparound services.
The city of Denver has spent more than $200 million to move almost 8,000 people off the streets and into shelters through the mayor's All-In Mile High program. From there, more than 7,000 people have moved into housing.
Once they leave the all-in sites, the shelters, does the city kind of wash their hands and say, well, it's not really our problem anymore?
We don't wash our hands, but we can't supervise every single individual in the city who is trying to find a way to pay their rent and to get their act together.
The organization that placed housing voucher tenants at this building is the Community Economic Defense Project. They tell us there are no work requirements or drug tests needed to get a housing voucher, but tenants are offered case management services and are encouraged to participate. They say they cannot mandate sobriety, monitor personal behavior, or enforce related laws. Eisenstein says that's on the landlord.
As a landlord, we don't sign up to be the de facto case manager. I don't have a background in psychiatry or drug addiction treatment. It's not my expertise, and I never signed up for that.
As we've seen more and more federal cuts to those kind of voucher programs, it means more and more people will have to survive out on their own with less case management.
The city offers services. The rehousing organizations connect people and encourage them to participate. But when it comes to evicting people, making sure the apartments don't get trashed or that people don't do meth, that responsibility, whether they know it or not, falls on people like Christina.
If they had some mental health support, drug addiction support, and someone truly overseeing them, maybe there's hope that they could improve. But putting somebody just unsupervised in an apartment doesn't do anything.
The rehousing organization told me something else that I found interesting. They said they're responsible for supporting people after they exit homelessness, not supervising them, which of course brings us back to the problem that we're exploring here. When a landlord has a problem with a tenant that's made their way through the All-In Mile High program, it's not the city or the mayor or the nonprofit helping that's responsible, Kyle. We've learned tonight it's the landlord.
So in terms of what the landlords get out of this, there's the satisfaction helping people in trouble, there's the rent, and then there's additional compensation.
They are, in theory, supposed to be compensated, or at least the management company was supposed to be compensated for bringing people like this in. But the landlord that you heard from there says that the amount that it's going to take to mitigate that meth, as well as rebuild those apartments, far outweighs anything that they were compensated.
The city is trying to do a very, very hard thing that no American city has successfully done before, and appreciate you following it every step of the way, successes and failures. Mark Salinger, thank you.